Now let's take a look at how we can get going with document delivery. The first thing that you will need to do is assign the document delivery permission set to every user who you wish to work with document delivery. Here we are on the permission sets page, and you can see that upon installation of document delivery, a clever document delivery permission set will be immediately created for you. You must ensure that this has been assigned to every user that you wish to work with the application. With the permission sets assigned, now let's move on to the document delivery setup page. Here, the first thing that you will need to do is select Actions and Default Configuration. This will immediately create much of the setup that you need to do for document delivery. We'll be moving on to something called document types a little later. If you do go into that page and you notice that the document types are blank, please ensure that you come back into document delivery setup and select default configuration. Next, in default batch send behavior, we have two options: multiple attachment or single attachment. Here we can decide how attachments are going to be structured upon our emails. For example, if I'm on a sales orders list and a customer appears on the same list multiple times, would we like to send out one single attachment on the email which contains all of that customer's sales order confirmations, or would we like to have one email for the customer but with multiple attachments, one attachment per sales order confirmation? Next is the protect customer password. Here we can decide whether or not the document delivery password that's set against customers is visible or if it's going to be obscured. This doesn't need to be selected in order to password protect your documents. Moving down, we also have the test mode. Now this is probably the most important option on this page. If test mode is enabled, then all emails will be sent out to the test email recipient. This is particularly key when you are during your testing phase, or if you have set up document delivery in a test company or environment, as it will mean that your documents won't be sent out to your customers or vendors. Instead, they will all be rerouted through to this test email recipient. So you can disable your test mode once you are happy with everything that has been set up, at which point your emails will be sent out to the email addresses specified on your customer and vendor cards. With the document delivery setup page complete, now let's take a look at a customer card. Here we have two specific document delivery fields: email and document delivery password. Within the email, whichever email address is populated here will be the one that is picked up for all documents sent out to this particular customer, and also the same on the vendor side. If you wish to set up documents to be sent out to different email addresses per customer, for example, perhaps we want to send out sales order confirmations to one email address, whilst reminders and customer statements should be going to another email address, that can be accessed through a page called Custom Rules. However, just to get you started, the email address is all that you need to populate at this point. Populating the document delivery password will allow you to password protect any and all documents. For example, if you are sending out a document to a group email box, all recipients that have access to that email box will be able to see the email itself. However, they'll only be able to access the attachment and see that sensitive information if they have the document delivery password. The final key piece of setup is the document delivery document types. In here, once you have run the default configuration from the document delivery setup page, all of the document types that you can see here will be immediately populated for you. Now, there will be some changes that you will want to make. So let's take a look at the customer statement, which, as you can see, I've already highlighted. I'm just going to click into the statement code, and the only option that you might want to change at the top in the General Fast tab is Preview Before Sending. Here, as you can imagine, if you do send out a customer statement, as we've got Preview Before Sending, a preview of the email that is to be sent will appear. If you untick this, that will no longer be an option. Next is the Delivery Fast tab. Here we can start to change the subject. So at the moment it's going to have the customer name and statement. We also have the sender address and sender name fields. Now these will only be picked up if you are working with the Q email functionality. And they will be populated, as you can see here, with accounts and accounts@company.com. If you are going to be using the Q email functionality at all, please make sure that you do change that sender address to an email address within your company, just so that if the customer does decide to reply, it will be going to a correct email. Continuing to move down, the next thing that you need to be made aware of are the attachments. Now, for the most part, this should be okay and you won't need to make any changes. However, if you are working with a different report to the standard one, for example, if you are a TechMan customer and you have the TechMan customer statement, then you will want to make sure that this has been updated. You are able to do that yourself and it's very easy. To do so, simply click into the report ID, click into the three dots, and then find the appropriate statement. You also might wish to update the attachment name. This is the attachment name that the recipient will see on the attachment itself. So in this case, it would say statement and the customer number. And also another key thing when you're working with the document types is that you might wish to update the email body. If I just select edit body at the top, in here we can see that we do have a very basic template for the email. So it says, "Dear customer name, please find attached a statement of your account, kind regards," and then the name of your company. Now this is rather impersonal, so you might wish to update this body of the email just to include anything that you might wish. Again, if you are working with preview before sending, you can also update this every time that you send a statement out. So if you do want to personalize them per communication with the customer, you are more than welcome to do that as well. So those are the main pages that you need to be aware of in order to get going with document delivery. There are also other setup pages which are for a more advanced configuration. More information on which can be found through the Clever Documents website.